All right, looks like we're good. All right, looks like we're good. Looking good. Hopefully we sound good. Normally we do. All right, even got a notification. Always a nice rare thing. Flip that around, close that, refresh it. Pop this open again, and good. All right. All righty. What do we got going on? Kind of a busy-ish day. Jordan Love's supposed to play. Derek Carr's supposed to play. Sounds like Lamar is good to go despite a few injury concerns. I kind of think that means if Carr's officially playing, I'm going with the Saints then. My pick here with the Panthers was on the assumption the Saints wouldn't have Carr yet. So that's a pretty easy pick change there. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, now I'm going with the team that's going to win, New Orleans. So, damn. Yeah, you almost had it right, but you can't, you picked the wrong team. You'd get partial credit. You'd pretty much get the points if you had called the Commanders winning. But unfortunately, with the pick of the Lares, so you're even more wrong because you picked the El Cago Lares. Yeesh. Well, hopefully people want to come by and watch the stream tonight. We'll see, though. We've lost our entire live audience because I can't stream every single day now. That's a bit of a bummer. I just don't know where all the baseball people went. If even like half of them stayed, we'd be Gucci. It is what it is. And what have you guys been up to, huh? Y'all have a good what was it? Halloween last night? I think everyone here is kind of too old to trick or treat now, but yeah, I'm not really sure how the Texans won that or lost that game. Well, kinda. Their offense has just kind of been dead all year. Kind of backs up what I said though. When after the Patriots played them, I'm like, man, something weird about Houston. Just feels like their offense has what I call a new thing I've been thinking of, and a new way to look at offenses is point generating drives. Like, do you go on drives that generate a lot of points? And that's not like short field, right? I completely remove short field. Anything where you start like from the 50 forward. Anything backwards, though, that's like something where you have to sustain a drive to get points. And of course, it has to be more than like a play or two because that means you had like a freak big play. And I think that's a really good way to judge an offense. Is are they productive when they have a long field in front of them? And one of the things I've noticed with some teams is they're just not very good at that this year. Like if they can set up on a short field, they might score, but if they have to go the whole field, they like shit out about at the 50. And that's just something kind of like a way you can look at an offense and go, oh shit, there are a lot of teams that do that. Spencer Rattler of the Saints, that was like the Saints' problem for the last few weeks, like 4 or 5 weeks here, where if you gave them a short field, Rattler and them would go down and score pretty quickly and pretty confidently. But if they had to start at like the 30, say on a kickoff, they just weren't going. It'd be like a 3 and out. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the drive that is too daunting. Who knows? It's like a too much thing for them. They're like, oh, we can't really do this. But like at the 30, they're like, all we need is like 5 yards. Like, we already got the field goal. We've got the points. We just got to be smart. I don't know. But there is a notable difference between short field and long field teams. At least the way I'm thinking about it, the way I look at it. And like good offenses typically can drive down the field. Like you see Detroit, they can drive the whole field typically whenever. Green Bay usually can. Patriots are very good at it. Probably one of the better offenses in the league are the Patriots right now. I like it when people don't really say anything because I can just say wild shit like that, and I take all of your silence as silence here is complicit. You agree with everything I say when you're silent. That's just the general rule of the channel. So I thank you all for the kind words about the Patriots there. Yeah, that'll be a good game, Lore. Lions get to take advantage of a weakened Texans team who isn't playing the greatest. If Detroit can handle the Packers, they should probably be able to handle the Texans. Should be fun. By the way, if you guys haven't dropped likes yet, consider doing so. Maybe help the stream out. We're struggling to get people here early on. What up, Mike? We were just chatting about the best team in football, the Patriots, best offense. All these people were, you know how the rule on the channel is if you don't actively disagree with me, your silence is considered complicity in whatever I'm saying. When I said the Patriots have the best offense in the NFL, no one, as you can see, no one said anything. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they all agreed with me. Drake May has the fastest white quarterback speed in Madden, so there's that. Josh who? I don't even know who that guy is anymore. The QB from Buffalo? Whatever his name is. Like, what was it? Like, Al. It's like a weird name. It's like Alash Jalen or something like that. It's like a weird foreign name. I'm not really sure who that guy is. There's a new sheriff in town. His name is Drake May. Best offense in the league. You guys should be able to handle the Bucks. You should anyway. Bucks are a weird little tricky team that if they don't commit turnovers, they probably win the games that they play in. Or if like a team is like slightly off, the Buccaneers somehow win the game. Yeah. Mike, do you know what the funniest thing in the world is right now? All of the Jets fans that were like doom and gloom 2 days ago, Thursday morning, are suddenly like, oh yeah, playoff run is on, baby. And it's like, oh, these guys are so great. Guess what we get to enjoy when the Jets lose next Sunday? They set this up for us, Mike. If they fall to 3-7, man, they're gonna kill them. If they don't get to 4-6, oh man. Yeah, they get one more year of having the fun big quarterback. The worst thing that could happen is like we develop a competent football team again. Did you see? I don't mean to talk too much about the Patriots. Anybody can bring up whatever they'd like, by the way. Feel free to talk, you guys. Like, you don't have to just sit in silence. You could bring things up. If you have some stuff you want to talk about around the NFL, feel free to bring it up. It can be whatever. But Lowe is starting to look pretty good at left tackle. We were doing pretty good against that Jets D line. Quinnen Williams was Lowe was throwing some huge blocks on that last drive we had, the game winner. Against, Quinnen Williams, which is pretty hard. So that's something to keep an eye on. We might have 2 offensive linemen figured out, Mike. We're really out here now. To be fair, Mike, I don't even know how we won that game. Like, the Jets shouldn't have lost. I genuinely look at that game and go, how the fuck did they lose? They didn't make any mistakes. I've never seen a team lose the way the Jets lost that game to the Patriots. That's just some weird fucking curse shit. Oh yeah, they were all over Stroud. They were killing that guy. They barely got to fucking Jacoby. But yeah, that's kind of an indictment on the Houston's line might be worse than ours, Mike. Like, holy shit. I thought our line sucked. I think every single play Stroud had to roll out. He was just gone out of the pocket every play. It's like, oh boy, that's our line isn't even that bad. We're just retarded. Well, I hope the stream picks up a little bit. Super dead, eh? It's no fun. Yeah, that's helpful. They're they're getting a little bit better. To be fair, we're also super tore up on defense. Like figuring out that like half our defense is injured is like, oh, well, that makes Duggar's out. Fucking somebody else important was out. Uche was injured. I'm pretty sure he was just sitting out because he's a bitch. Oh damn, we're down to 2 whole people left. I guess everybody just decides to leave and not chat. I don't get it. I guess people don't like talking football anymore with people. Genuinely don't understand what happened to this channel. Where did the people go? It's a bit of a bummer. Used to be quite a bit of fun around here. Literally just like a few months ago. I don't even know where the fuck everybody's gone. Shame. We can't even have a good football stream anymore. How is the NFL so dead on this channel? It's literally a football channel. I don't get it. What do I got to do? The Boise State game? Hell yeah. I don't really watch college ball though. Don't understand. I don't understand. It'd be a lot of fun. People used to come here and chat football all the time. Suppose I'm not a big enough channel though. Chat isn't big enough for people. Well, hopefully we pick up a little bit as we go here. What yeah, I just wish more people wanted to talk about football. Like we used to have a decent little thing around here where we would like have some fun chatting football. I guess it is Halloween weekend, so people are probably a bit busy tonight. You can kind of get that. Just a bummer. Either way. Yeah, I think there's going to be trades. I think there's going to be some trades. I think Jadeveon Clowney is going to be sent away. I still wonder if Zadarius Smith and the Giants player is probably going to be traded. So yeah, there's a couple big ones. Oh, the left tackle? Yeah, I can't believe the Vikings actually went and made a move so aggressive like that. That's actually a good pickup for them. They really probably need a new tackle. Their line was not the strongest, and Darisaw was like, yeah, that's their best lineman. Honestly, one of their best players outside of maybe their second best player. Because like if you look at teams, sometimes it's funny to be like, no, that offensive lineman is actually their best player. Kind of like with the Lions. Like, is it hard to debate about the Lions that their best player is Penei Sewell? It's like, nah, he might be. Because he's like probably the best tackle in football now. I think he's officially taken that from that 49ers guy. Williams. Just on an age and like what's left, and you know, just the ability to still like output the way that they do. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's funny when you stop and think about it. It's like, damn, an offensive lineman is the best player on a team like Detroit. That's kind of funny. I don't know though. Their secondary has some dogs in it now with Brian Branch, and Kirby Joseph. Those are really good players. Then they got St. Brown. Laporte is not quite there yet, you know what I mean? But again, it's kind of one of them things where it's like, You know what's even sicker? You know what's even worse, Mike? Detroit plays that motherfucker at right tackle. And they play Taylor Decker at left, I believe. That's the worst part is it's like, oh, no wonder Goff never, ever deals with anything on the right side of the line. It's because fucking Sewell's up against some dog shit motherfucker and you're just beating the hell out of him. I'm not sure when they're going to move that around. I'm guessing they're waiting for like Decker to get it, because Decker is a really... Mike, and you know what's even worse? They've been using like a backup offensive line. And they got more good tackles. I don't know why we don't like see if they won't give us anybody. Yeah, that was a great trade. Kind of a surprise when for as little as you had to give up. It's very obnoxious that my stupid fucking team that needs a receiver won't go make a move for a receiver. Like that. It's like, oh, that's all it took. Come on. Like, why can't we get a receiver, man? We got Drake May now. We're a whole new team. We're back on. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. He must be cooked. Like, he must be cooked. And we don't know what the hell the deal is here. Like, he's just not going to be good. Like, it's like, no, it wasn't the Panthers. That was the reason Johnson wasn't playing well. He just, There can be two realities. You know what I mean? Maybe the Patriots are like, we watched the tape. We're good. It's like, fuck you and your value. If he balls out the rest of the year, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be like, damn, we could have made that trade. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Lions, though, if you're a Lions fan, I think your team is making a trade soon. You have like 7 injured defensive ends. At this point, it's kind of like the universe is like, hey, Detroit, you're going to have to go make a trade. We'll stop injuring your fucking defensive ends if you go get another defensive end. The team's refusal to give up fucking 5th-round draft picks is a little obnoxious at this point. It's like, just give up the fits, dude. Jesus Christ. I'm a little annoyed with the Lions right now. They're being very weird about trading for a good player. It's like, just trade for a fucking Zadarius Smith or Jadeveon Clowney. Like, it's like a 4th or a 5th round pick for those guys. What are you doing? Quit being so stingy for your fucking late round draft picks. It's like, yeah, but we always hit there. It's like, whatever. You're a Dodgers fan now, Seth? What a crazy change. Oh, I forgot you're a bandwagoner. You don't give a fuck. You're just like, yeah, I like the Dodgers. They're my new favorite team. Did you just see us win the World Series? Did your team win the World Series this year, pussy? See, that's why I respect you, Seth, being a bandwagon fan. It's an unbeatable position, technically. Because they can call you a bandwagoner. But you could just be like, my team literally just won the World Series. I do not care. I got to celebrate. We were up 3-1, down 5 runs. I was a fan for one whole game. Fucking boom, dude. We won that shit. And again, that's a hilarious position to always have in an argument with somebody. You're effectively unstoppable as a fan. Again, the only thing you have to deal with is being called a bandwagon fan. But like, who gives? Like, yeah, my teams always win. I don't like losers. That's just how I am. I'm built to win. It's like I was a fucking Trump fan when he beat Hillary. Now, then I became a Biden guy. Whoever wins, I am a fan of. I don't even care who wins the election. Whoever wins, that's my guy. That's who I was rooting for. I'm 10 steps ahead of people. It's just like, God damn it. I hate bandwagon people are so fucking annoying. Literally, Darrell, it's a hilarious position to take in life that you only choose the winning team, especially because sports figuratively and literally, quite literally don't matter. Like, none of this matters. Do you know what I mean? It'll be an interesting part of American history how big sport got. But like theoretically, who gives a shit if someone's just a bandwagon fan? Like none of this matters. It's fucking sports. Kids play this game. I'm pro bandwagoning because it's way funnier, but I refuse to ever bandwagon. I picked my teams and I'm fans of them till I die. However, I totally respect the life of the bandwagon fan. I think it's a funnier position to take. Again, if you do it and you commit to it. Seth, your favorite team changes like the win. What's up? Hey, everyone's starting to show up a little bit. Here we go. Glad to see you guys all made it in. What's up, Sean? What's up, Jake? How you guys all doing? You guys all have a good Halloween? I wasn't expecting to see a lot of people. How you doing, Jehu? Genuinely didn't know if anyone was showing up. Make sure you guys drop some likes. Help the stream out a little bit. Yeah, I'm 0-1 again on Thursday Night Football. Yeah, dude, I keep losing Thursday nights but having great weeks. So I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'll take that. Like, I'll always take a bad Thursday night game because that's usually my MO. I lose a lot of Thursday nights, but those are the weeks I usually get like 10, 11 wins. So it's like, yeah, I'll take a 12-2. That's fine. Yeah, and you could just, just whoever wins, you just buy them championship gear. Can I say one thing about the CJ Stroud thing? He's having a sophomore slump, but like sophomore slump, injuries, bad line. He's not playing too bad. But 11 for 30 is objectively hilarious. Some teams' QBs just don't have sophomore slumps. Tom Brady's second year in the NFL, he won a Super Bowl. Oh, this was a mistake. Sorry, Seth. I didn't mean to go in on you being a bad, but like, you kind of are an open team changer. But I've always had a very pro bandwagon stance in my life. Probably because my career as a Patriots fan, as a 9-year-old, began as a bandwagon fan. I picked the Patriots because they won the Super Bowl. If the Panthers had won that Super Bowl, I'd be a Panthers fan right now. But I had discovered the NFL through that Super Bowl, and I had watched the game, and I went, oh, I like this. I'm picking whoever wins. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to do that. So, like, yeah, I bandwagon a Super Bowl team, but I'm 9. I didn't know you weren't allowed to do that. Then the following year, I found the Lions. Went, that's my second favorite team. After I was My dad, even though he isn't from LA, he watched them back in Mexico in the 80s and got to watch the iconic Gibson play. Nice. Oh, you're a Dodgers guy, Jehu? That's fun. Baltimore busted to my parlays when it was a 13-game parlay. Damn. That sucks, Terrell. That's quite a parlay to have broken up. The Jets played Jacoby Brissett the Sunday before. That's true. That's true, Mike. But again, I don't know. Young QBs against a good defense. I'm not too perplexed. It's not even really. I should have probably not picked the Texans. When, like, in retrospect, it makes so much more sense. Like, I'm kind of stupid for not picking. It's like, oh wow, one of the best secondaries in the NFL against a bunch of nobodies at Robert Woods and fucking Tank Dell. Yeah, cool. So double up Tank Dell and just whatever with Robert Woods. He's 900 years old. So, like no shit, they shut that shit down last night. There was almost a 0% shot CJ Stroud was going to have a good, like, our receivers are obnoxious. They just can't catch the ball. They get wide open though. But, they all got butter hands. If our boys could catch the ball, we'd be unstoppable, but they can't do that. That's too hard for them. It's like 50-50 with drops. Washington's over Pittsburgh. Our receivers suck at catching the ball. Jehu, you've watched it. Dude, if we caught the ball versus the Jets, we would have blew them the fuck out. We dropped everything except on the last drive. That was the only time we just could catch the ball. And if that's how we got to win games, I'm completely fine with that. You became a Patriots fan because the AFC Championship in 2018 when the Patriots faced the Chiefs. That was the first ever full NFL game I watched. Damn. Are you a little younger, Jehu? Based on that, or were you just not into football before that? Hey, we have 10 likes, so that's pretty good. I appreciate that, guys. Good looking out. Since random movie talk, I think the most I don't know, Sean. I haven't really even thought about I don't really think about the offseason for baseball. And if you remember my mentality, I do not care about what other teams do. Just as like a small thing, like I don't know. I think the Tigers will have the best offseason. That's my I don't care about the other teams. I only care what happens in major big signings. I don't It's not like football. I'll follow what the 32 teams do in football because it's far more entertaining. But I don't give a shit what the White Sox are doing right now. They could have folded, and I'd be like, damn, the White Sox folded. Just, you know what I mean? Like I don't follow any other team. I don't care what they do. I didn't even know the World Series ended for several hours. I was like, damn, that was the end. I just thought that was the last. I thought that was just Game 5. I didn't know that was the end of the World Series. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of a shitty baseball fan in that sense. I'll know more in a couple weeks. I don't know. I just haven't looked at anything. Detroit, Baltimore, and Cincinnati. That sounds about right. Detroit they have a lot of money. Cleveland has a lot of money too. They could improve. So I'm going to say Cleveland, Detroit, probably you guys, probably Boston. They always have good off seasons when they've been bad. Probably the Angels. They got a lot of money. Well, not really. They're fucked. That's probably it. The whole World Series is really good. I watch football more than often than soccer. Fair enough. Brissett carving up the Jets. Yeah, he was. Taekwondo Juku people. Booty catching and sliding deep shots. Mike, that drive was great. And then now we'll have Baker. I'm excited. Kind of just catching back up. Yeah, I don't know how the hell we came to life like that in that drive. Everything just worked. By the way, if you guys haven't switched your picks yet, if you picked Carolina, Carr is playing this weekend. So just as like a heads up, if you didn't know, Carr's back. I'm officially off of the Saints, right? The Panthers. I was gonna pick the Panthers this weekend, but Carr's back, so there's zero reason to pick the fucking Panthers in this game anymore. I thought the crazy upset was gonna happen because of I was like, hey, maybe their defense can get to Spencer Rattler, keep them all fucking shitty, kind of just oppress the game, But it didn't work out that way. Hell yeah, it is, Mike. I think we're gonna actually prove that the Patriots curse is real. Yeah, Darrell, I'm thinking so that with the Saints stuff, you need to finish your picks. That works. I mean, you got plenty of days. Well, kind of. Actually got so mad in Game 5 that I turned the game off, and then like 30 minutes later they tied. Yeah. What if Carr gets hurt? Well, then I shouldn't have switched my pick, and that's on me. If you're bold and want to switch your picks, then you do that, but it's up to you. I just don't think with a real QB the Panthers win this game. Yeah, Sean, getting Deontay Johnson was a good pickup. The fact that you didn't have to give up anything to get him either, it's like that's pretty nice. Buda Baker. Buda's good. I don't know why people shit on Buda Baker so much. What does he do that's bad? He doesn't get picks. Yeah, safety's job isn't to intercept not a strong safety. Yeah, again, he's a strong safety who doesn't get picks. And it's just, I think what the problem is, people sometimes have a weird misunderstanding of like what the strong safety is. He's like a run pass game in for, like he's like a, I don't know. They're not really pick guys like strong safeties. That's like the free safety. Like one of your safeties won't get picks, the other one will get picks. And I don't really know why people shit on Buda Baker. He's really good at what he does. If your team picks up Buda Baker, you should be pretty stoked. Yeah, exactly. They rack up hits and tackles. That's exactly what Buda's good at. He's not the guy that like lurks around like fucking Kirby Joseph and just fucking stalks on interceptions for free. That's literally a whole different guy. Backup for starter, huh? I don't know. Mahomes was the backup for Baker in college. Yeah. Deontay Johnson is a good wide receiver, but he has no one to throw to him. Yeah, maybe. We'll see if he's still that guy or if he just kind of fell off while in, like, again, he's not exactly like super young, but he's not super old. I don't know. He could have just fallen off. I want them to win, but they always lose when I pick them. Who's that? Like Baker Mayfield? I wouldn't imagine the Buccaneers were going to trade Baker. Didn't they just sign him? Like, I thought he was their QB for a while now. Wait, which Baker? I'm sorry. I'm blanking hard on. I didn't know the Bucs were shopping Baker. What team needs a quarterback right now that badly? That's a playoff team. The Vikings? I guess. Wait, Sean, what Baker were you talking about? Like Mayfield? Oh, Buda Baker. Okay. I was gonna say I don't really think I also don't think Arizona's wants to trade Buda Baker either. I don't know why this always happens. It's like I don't really think the Cardinals are super interested in trading that guy. I don't really know why. It's like I seen one of the most asinine trade proposals by Mike Tannenbaum this morning. It was trending on Twitter. It was so fucking stupid. You might have seen it already. He thought the Lions. Oh yeah, that was pretty funny with Trayvon and the Cowboys beat reporter. That was pretty funny. But apparently, like Tannenbaum over on ESPN or whatever the fuck, wherever he's working, he proposed one of the craziest, shittiest trades. It was like 2 firsts and a second for Myles Garrett. Again, on the surface, you're like, oh, that's literally not that bad. What are you talking about? Why is that so bad? Like, I don't. It's like, what's the big deal with that trade? There's a player involved. It said Detroit would offer 2 firsts, a second, I think another pick, and Jahmyr Gibbs for Myles Garrett. Why the fuck would Detroit do that? You know what I mean? That's like the worst trade I think I've ever heard. It's like, why? Number one, that's not going to be that many first round picks then for a player of Jahmyr Gibbs' caliber. Wants to trade Micah. I wouldn't be shocked if Detroit goes and trades for him. If they don't have to give up a ton to get him. I think Micah would fit right in with what Detroit does. Kind of like a glove. And they could just play him at D for the rest of the year, which is kind of... It wouldn't be too shocking. I have a weird feeling Dallas would trade the Lions of all teams. They'd be like, yeah, fuck it. Kind of with an understanding that low round picks get traded. No, and again, it's kind of the silliness of like, why would the Browns trade Myles Garrett? Like all these rumors are always so funny when you stop and think about them. They're like the only one that I got caught way too much up into was the Max Crosby one, and that's because the Raiders were selling, and I didn't. I was like, are they going to sell Crosby? But Crosby doesn't want to leave, so yeah. Jehu. Yeah, they thought that the Browns and Lions would trade all them picks and Jim. Why would the Lions trade Gibbs? Is also it's like, oh, that player that's like a key part of their very explosive offense. The player they took more shit I've ever seen a team take for drafting a player in my entire life, dude. The Lions got. If you guys remember, the Lions got so much shit for drafting Jahmyr Gibbs. Remember they were called the worst draft in league history. Like looking back, it's like, damn, the Lions haven't had a bad draft since fucking like Matt Patricia was running that team. It's like, really, they also drafted like 2 of their stars. I guess they convinced DeAndre Hopkins to be traded because he said, yeah, he liked being in Tennessee. Yeah, he was good. For some people, they don't really give a fuck about the Super Bowl stuff. I mean, it's probably a dream to go win one, but like, for DeAndre, he's like, I like just being in Nashville. It was a good time. I believe he said he went to Nashville over us because he just wanted to be in Nashville. And now let's say it makes it way more believable that he didn't sign with the Patriots because he just wanted to go to Nashville and live in Tennessee. It's like, all right. I'm a lot happier now knowing that, because it's like, why the fuck did he pick Tennessee over us? He just really wanted to be in Nashville. It's like, oh, all right, well, that works. Yeah, I think he just likes being in Tennessee. It's a great state. Nice place. It's probably a nice place to live. You can ignore all the weird political shit of that state. If you're rich enough to be above the politics, though, it's probably great. Oh yeah, it's really nice, dude. But dude, the Titans suck balls. That's one of the worst teams I ever seen. You can trick that team into doing dumb shit for just repeatedly. Dude, the Lions gave them 2 touchdowns and then baited them into making some of the worst throws for the entirety for the rest of the game, dude. The Lions fucked that team's mentality up. Yeah, it's like one of the nicest places to be in, but it's like got these weird backwards ass laws in it. Excuse me. Weird place. But yeah, the Titans are just bad, man. You can just bait them into doing dog shit if you trick them for like a couple for like 2 touchdowns. You just spot them 2 touchdowns and they'll just make mistakes after that. I've never seen a team. That might be the worst I've seen a team beat another team since the Patriots beat the Titans. Like, we were up like 59-0 at halftime or some fucking crazy shit like that. That was a very similar beatdown, dude. That was a very similar beating of a football team. What the Lions did to that team feels eerily goddamn similar to what the Patriots did back in 07 to the Titans. If you remember, you remember. Good God, do you remember that game? Lions have delivered 2 of the gnarliest whoopings I've ever seen. It's crazy. Yeah, we play the Titans this week, Seth. That's why we're kind of talking about it. Lions have one of the craziest ways of beating the shit out of teams I've seen in a minute. And again, there's ways you can win 47-9 and not dominate, right? It's just the way that they beat the Cowboys was so fucked in Dallas. That's the crazy part. They went into Jerry World and just fucking destroyed a football team. And then again, they're doing it to like several teams. Division games are always a toss, whatever. It almost feels again the game against the Titans, Durrell. It really feels like the Lions let these guys, like they were giving, like if you go back and watch, look at the way they used Terrion Arnold early in the game against teams. Terrion, I don't know if it's because he's a rookie and just has to settle into the guy he's covering, Or stick with me on this. They tell Tyrion to make it look like he's not adjusting to the guy that he's covering. Because again, you can sell that with the rookie. And then you kind of hide Kirby Joseph on the other side of the field for a couple plays, not covering the one. Again, give him the fucking touchdown. Because again, you have the offense to cover that back up. You've proven it time and time again. They kind of did that again. They kind of did this versus the Vikings and Sam Darnold a little bit. But what they do is, I feel like they slowly and like over the course of 3 drives, like drive 1, they'll start Kirby away from Arnold. And again, I think they're purposely having Arnold kind of give these plays up a little bit and kind of make mistakes. And again, then like drive 2, they'll have Arnold playing more like center cut, or not Arnold, but I'm telling you, go watch the way that they do this. And then on that 3rd drive, very quietly, they'll have like fucking Joseph kind of just like lurking very far back, but like he's now kind of like Arnold makes the mistake. Fucking the QB sees it, and like they're kind of bad quarterbacks, so like their brains are just like, oh my god, I got it again. So they launch it, not really realizing Kirby Joseph's fucking on a warpath like there to get the foot. That's how he has so many picks. I'm telling you, it's been every week they've been doing this. And I think some of these close scores in big games that start off like that, I think they're doing it on purpose. Yeah, it's literally like, because again, you see the corner fall down, and then okay, they're putting him in man coverage by himself. We got the play, and they've been getting the play, right? They've gotten it twice already with touchdowns. All of a sudden, Kirby Joseph's there and he picks it off. You think, okay, they got me this time. I think we can still. And then again, maybe they go out there, let Arnold make a mistake again, and then Kirby Joseph's there again. It's like, oh, we just threw 2 picks in a row, and we're down now. We're losing 21-14. How the fuck did that just happen? And then your brain's broken. Again, I think that's how they play the game. Watching the Lions do things, I'm like, is that what they're doing? Watch a lot of their games when how that they always start at this weird closeness. It's very interesting to watch a team kind of play bait ball, where they're trying to make teams make mistakes. It's very interesting where they're willing to give up points because it sets them up for later in the game. That is a hyper confident football team. They're doing that because they also believe that they can score at will on other teams' defenses. That's a sign of a team that just beats the fuck out. That genuinely believes we're gonna beat the fuck out. It doesn't matter what we do. We're gonna win this game. You know, Mike, if that's what the Lions are doing, do you know who hasn't done some scheme shit like that since like they're like doing Patriots level scheming, if that's really what I'm seeing them do. Skipper was always reporting as eligible. Yeah, they do. They were making a point, and then they're like, it's like they're going through. I don't even know what to describe it as. It's very Patriot like the way the Lions are conducting their business now. It's ruthless, dude, and they're just ruthless. And then like their defensive coordinator or their offensive coordinator today was like, if people don't like the trick plays, we'll just run more trick plays. I think that's how he responded. And you know what's scary with them? It's like, yeah, we're going to, like, you know what he also said, Ben Johnson, in a press conference? This sick motherfucker really said some shit like, oh, we got a lot of guys on the team that can throw the ball really well. If I'm the Packers defensive court, dude, this is the 2nd week in a row they said some slick-ass dumb shit like that at like Ben Johnson has. I think last week he said, yeah, we've been doing a lot of different guys catching the ball. And then like, and now this week he's out here saying some fuck ass shit like, yeah, a lot of people on this team can throw the ball good. If I'm the Packers DC, I don't even know what the fuck he means by that. Because I'm like, is he going to have what the fuck, man? Because then you go and look, and there's like 3 different guys with touchdown passes this year. And you're like, oh, shit, St. Brown's got one. Montgomery's got one. I think one of the tackles got one. Oh, fuck, they can't throw the ball good. I seen a team in college football or high school football run a fake flea flicker, and it worked a while. Dude, I think they scored a touchdown with the guy just running the ball because the team does so many fake plays and like flea flickers. They got like the defense bought really hard on the flea flicker, and the dude he had just a wide open field in front of him. And I'm like, oh great, Ben Johnson seen that play and went, we got a new one we're gonna add, boys. I think we just came up with a brand new play. Dude, yeah, dude, it's scary, man. They're a scary team. Nobody knows how to play that. Like, they get extra good punts because everyone's terrified they're gonna fake their punts. So teams don't even like defend the Lions coming down to like kill their fucking special teams guy because they're like, we can't go back and have blockers. Why? What, they're gonna fake it. They'll fake it at their own fucking 30. They don't give a fuck. They're retarded. And somehow they barely pay for it. Like, fuck, Minnesota went up 14-0 on a play like that. And in like 6 minutes, it was tied. We don't even know how they did that. If there's one team that can beat Kansas City, I do believe it's the Detroit Lions this year. I don't think Kansas City can play against Detroit, really. Number one, if Mahomes makes all them interception mistakes, Detroit will take advantage on every single one of them and score probably. And they'll just lose because of that. If you have 2 or 3 turnovers like the Chiefs have almost a game, that's the problem. It's, dude, Detroit is one of the most, I think they score on every turnover, by the way. I think they're at like 90 some odd % of turnovers this year they've scored on. Like, if you don't want to turn it over against a team like Detroit, they get crackhead energy, they go and score. The whole team gets cracked out and they just put ball in end zone. That's what you're supposed to do. But like every team that plays Kansas City, holy shit, it's so annoying because it's like, I've never seen a team turn the ball over as much as Kansas City does and pay nothing. No one does anything. They just go 3 and out. It's like, what are we fucking doing? The Raiders almost beat these guys. They're not as good as people think they are. People are just way over on top of their head. They're like, oh no, how do we beat the Chiefs? They're undefeated. Look at the score. Look at who the fuck. Who they beat? Other than the Ravens, who have they beaten? Nobody. The Chargers. Yeah, Jim Harbaugh's 4th game in the NFL on with the new team. Yeah, with the fucking whole rookie receiving corps. I feel like the Chiefs are a pretty early loss in the playoffs type of team right now. And I feel confident saying that. Again, it's a team that's making a lot of mistakes. Yeah, thank you, Jay, I appreciate it. Dude, again, the funniest outcome is the Steelers beating the Chiefs in the playoffs. And it's like, well, you guys don't get the 3-peat because you got stopped by a team that's won 2 straight. That's how poetry in the NFL works. Or it'll be like the Denver Broncos in the playoffs for no fucking reason. It'll be like, oh, okay, that's fine. That works. I'm telling you, it's going to be some dog shit ass team that beats them, or they're just losing the Super Bowl. Well, that could be a Goff Mahomes Super Bowl, which is pretty crazy. You did it for the funny emojis. There you go. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. By the way, if you guys haven't dropped any likes yet, consider doing so. Helps the stream out a ton. Maybe get some more people in here. Maybe we'll even be at like 15 likes for the stream tonight. That'd be pretty crazy. Is there anything in CJ Stroud embarrassing loss to Jets, a wake-up call for the Texans? I'm glad it was, CJ. Good job. Maybe stop doing so many podcasts now and play some actual football. See, I knew this was going to happen with Stroud. I think I kept commenting like, man, this guy does a lot of podcasts in the offseason. Shouldn't he be like working on the football stuff? Not like 24/7, but it just seemed like he spent a lot of time doing like media tours and talking shit, you know what I mean? Which is fine. I don't really have a problem with that, but I didn't see him really doing football stuff. I think he was just like, well, NFL's super easy. I don't have to try that hard. It's like, nah, homie, they kind of adjusted to you now. You have to adjust again. The most thing about KC and red zone, they always fumble the ball. A lot of fumbles and picks, yeah. As much as the defense is good, I agree. You're right. The Chiefs have not played a real team. Well, they played the Ravens, and they won that. So it's kind of, it's interesting. Yeah, no, Mike, 100%. It's embarrassing to lose to that Jets team. Like, again, we're not going to talk about the Patriots, so don't worry, everybody. But to lose to the Patriots, that's not good. I make jokes. That's my favorite team. But I know what my team is right now. And if you lose to us, you suck. Like, that's just like the same. Like, you're not a playoff team if you lose to us. Like, no, just think about that. It's like, that's probably what I'm saying is probably right. Like, the Bengals aren't going to be a playoff team by the looks of it. You know what I mean? I should have knew the Bengals were suspect when they let us score 16 on them. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Why didn't them not scoring was expected, but us scoring 16 was a red flag. Anthony Richardson, the NFL was as easy as... Yeah, Anthony Richardson's hilarious. He took himself out the game, and his coach went, he's not going to start anymore this year. And everyone's like, look, how dare they bench Anthony? It's like, hey, NFL media, tell the whole story about why he's getting benched. I had to look into why he got benched. It took me time to find out it's because he took himself out of the game, and he pissed his whole fucking team. Like, he pissed a lot of people off doing that. Because he's like, I was late tired. Like, okay, then you don't really need to be starting in the NFL if you're not conditioned to fucking play an NFL game. You're not a wide receiver. You're a quarterback, buddy. The drive has... People are like, has the NFL developed a bad problem with developing quarterbacks? No, just fucking... Indy always has been bad at quarterback development. Number two. But the biggest thing to me was it's like... No, he's late. He's got bad conditioning because he's coming back from an injury. And the Colts probably shouldn't have never put him back in starting this year. He clearly wasn't ready to start. Like, it's because like Anthony Richardson is in a different situation than a lot of other quarterbacks, in my opinion. Because again, he was a very obvious raw talent project. And again, that's fine, right? Like, I don't put him in the same development kind of scale that I would like a quarterback who played like 4 years of quarterback at like no, that's a whole different guy. Like Mac Jones versus Trent, that's a whole different comparison you'd use. Or Richardson, not Anthony Richardson, not Trent Richardson, right? Like that's two different kind of like, all right, I'm going to judge Mac a little bit more harshly than I'm going to judge Richardson right away. With Richardson, it's fine. He won the starting job. People were trying to criticize the Colts for him like starting the season whatsoever as the quarterback. It's like, oh, he wasn't ready. It's like, if you watched him play in the preseason and you watched his camp, he won the starting job. He was the objective right answer to start the season. However, as soon as he got hurt, they should have just shut it down and been like, he's not playing well anyway. Fuck this. He's not ready to start. He's injured. Sit him out for the year. They should have did that as soon as he got hurt, not like do this weird thing where they brought him back and now people are like shitting on him. It's like, they should have just let Flacco, especially because Flacco is playing well. Now if he's cold, it's like, they ruined it. But again, just ride Flacco. Let fucking Flacco teach this kid how to play football properly. Get some fucking extra quarterback coaching in, and get him throwing right. This kid's like a monster if you get it right. Like it's not that hard. You just gotta kind of fix it up. Now you have the time. Plus, he got hurt and couldn't move. Like, he had, like, a leg injury, if I'm not mistaken, or a shoulder injury. So it's like, yeah, no wonder his stamina shitted out on him. He also does too much as a quarterback. He needs to stop trying to handle the ball every play. He has a good running back. Oh, yeah, Josh Allen. It's just Josh Allen had, like, multiple Hall of Fame NFL quarterbacks working on him. Indy has one NFL Hall of Fame quarterback in franchise history that they can come help out. Well, they have a couple, but most of them are dead. And I don't think Peyton gives a fuck about the Colts. Yeah, Lamar kind of. I think you want to go look at year 2 offense for Lamar if you want Richardson to copy Jackson. But I do think developmentally they do need to do something for him. I think the Colts ultimately will be all right. They gotta get some guys in there to fix Richardson up. I think it's the right move to bench him. There's the NFL, and again, the new thing is that the NFL has a quarterback developmental problem. No, the NFL overvalues and has overrated these quarterbacks since like 2019. What's up, man? If you remember my main point, every year I say there's one or two good QBs in every class. The rest of these dudes all suck bag of dicks. Remember in 21 when everyone said that's one of the great quarterback classes? I was like, there's like one or two good quarterbacks in this. It's Trevor Lawrence and maybe Mac Jones and like a shot in the dark is Trey Lance. Everybody else, hot dog shit. I say that every year, and I'm never like wrong. It's just like I'm never really wrong about how bad quarterbacks are. I think since the league and the NFL itself and football kind of overvalues the quarterback position, a lot of very bad quarterbacks who are obviously very bad are getting drafted early and being being benched at young ages. It's like, no, those are all just backups. They should have just never been drafted that high. That's the reality of it. What's up, though, Ven? We're just kind of having a chat. Mainly just me pontificating about some things that I've been seeing on Twitter that piss me off. Does the NFL have a developmental quarterback problem? No, they have a problem with overvaluing shitty quarterbacks out of college. That's the actual issue. But those pundits can't say that because guess who's the people that are evaluating fucking quarterbacks coming out of college? It'd be like that SpongeBob picture. Who's this asshole that's overvaluating these quarterbacks? And you know what I mean? It's SpongeBob looking for himself as the maniac. That's what that would look like. It'd be just that meme. That's what that is. It's like, oh yeah, you dickheads. It's like, why did the Lions get such a bad rating on their draft for Jahmyr Gibbs? Meanwhile, ESPN's the one asking that question while also being the one who gives out draft ratings based on their draft value that some fucking dude just made up. Because he's not like don't even get me started on draft value. The worst, most retarded shit in the world. Just some guy's evaluation skills. It's like, well, this is my draft value. I should be, if my word was as good as I thought it was, I would be making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, high 6-digit salary as a talent scout for an NFL team. Instead, I work at ESPN evaluating how people draft. Like, that's like, you know what I mean? There's a disconnect there. There's like a huge fucking disconnect there. When people like take like why would you ever think a team that has a good history of drafting well is taking a bad player, like because ESPN or like some fucking arbitrary draft value told? If these people were as good and as smart as they claim to be about drafting and player evaluation and talent evaluation, they'd probably have a job with the fucking NFL team. Like they go get those people. Those people exist. Those jobs exist. You can apply. Go apply. If you get in, you know what I mean? Like, but you're not. Those people don't really get hired for a reason because like there's people that are really good at this shit, and there's a whole art form to it. Jahmyr Gibbs was like the top running back in the draft, and they like said because the Lions drafted him at 7 and not 9. Like Bijan Robinson was praised as a great pick because at 9 it's a good value, but the Lions taking Gibbs at 7 because that's not a good value pick because you're supposed to take a quarterback or get fucked in the asshole at pick 7. I guess I don't know. I guess it's because Detroit didn't use both of their first round picks on quarterbacks. They had a bad draft. They should have just took 2 quarterbacks. They'd be in better shape, right? Jack Campbell's a bust. Jahmyr Gibbs sucks. If they had taken 2 QBs, wonder where they'd be right now. Yeah, clearly it didn't work out for them. I mean, they could have drafted the guy who's better than Jack Campbell at linebacker. Oh yeah, there's nobody from that class that's better than Jack Campbell at linebacker. It's like, yeah, but they also got who should they have drafted? I do not like. Who are they supposed to draft else, then? You know what I mean? It's one of them things that's like they drafted 2 potential all-pros in that with those picks. It's like I can't. Like Campbell's on the path to being an all-pro this year already. It's like I don't know, man. It seems like they nailed that first round with like absolute precision. Draft value is stupid. I'm sorry, but it kind of is. Like the Lions have shitted all over draft, the idea of like draft value, and it's like, well, the best team in the league pays no mind to draft value. They'll draft a fucking running back, pick one, round one if they need to. They're like, we want to trade up to the first pick. What is Detroit doing? We need this running back, Jenny Junidi, or whatever that fucking guy. Dude, can you imagine the Lions do some baller ass shit? They're like, why do the Lions need all these picks? The Lions package all of their picks and like Jameer Gibbs away. They were like, what are they doing? What the fuck? And they draft Gene T, and it's like, why'd the league let him do that? Who the fuck didn't think this was going to be a problem? Why did they just get that Michael Myers dude from fucking Boise State? Could you imagine that fucking guy somehow winding up? He's going to Dallas, but can you imagine that fucking killer in Detroit? Holy shit. With that line, you know what's going to happen. They're somehow going to get him, right? Mark my words, they're somehow going to get this guy. Because that's how Detroit's luck is nowadays. They have everybody. If you go look at what draft was it, 2021 or 2020? It's like, there's like, or 22 maybe. There's like 8 good players from that entire draft. I'm talking, it's literally one of the worst drafts since 2013. I think it's 22. Like complete, you can't even probably name, like there's a few good players here and there. But it's like, Detroit has like 7 of the good players from that draft, and there's like 10 of them. It's like, fucking bullshit. I think that's where they got Kirby Joseph from and guys like that. Sorry about the rant there. I really hate draft value. It's a fun thing to rant about, though. I just think it's to be fair, it was a lot less worse on the Lions this offseason. I think this last draft the Lions were given a very high draft grade because I think the graders are afraid of getting absolutely smoked by Detroit. They're like, you know, whatever they do is probably fine. It's probably the right pick. It's probably right. I like drafts value, but not the way they use it. Yeah, I like the idea of draft value, but again, when you're using it to critique a team that hasn't had a bad draft, they drafted Terrion Arnold. Who else did they get? Terrion Arnold, Enos Rakestraw. They kind of like solidified secondary stuff this draft. They get anyone on offense? Yeah, I think it was just mainly defensive guys and stuff like that. I think they had a very promising rookie young guy who got hurt early on. But yeah, Terrion Arnold was their number 1 pick. Pretty good pick. He's been pretty solid. Little penalty happy, but that's welcome to the NFL world of a rookie corner in the NFL. Arnold is such a crazy upgrade over every single thing they had last year. It's not even funny. I'm not even kidding. It's like, oh man, now we have a guy who can kind of play corner. It's pretty good. That's all we needed. He can occasionally make a play. And he's improved a lot since the year started, so the penalties are starting to fall off. So he's starting to figure out, hey, this is how you play corner in the NFL, which is nice to see. Kind of a treat. Plus he's guarding number 1s, so you know, fucking they threw his ass right to the wolves. They're like, hey, this is Justin Jefferson, Terrion Arnold. Good luck, kid. Like, oh, word? Oh, I have to play man coverage on the X all game? Okay. He didn't do so bad. He's doing all right. I always when rookie corners are number 1, I always kind of give them a huge benefit of the doubt when they have a bad game or two. Because again, it's just who they're covering. It's fucking daunting, probably. Like 3 years ago, they were literally not. You know, they were like in four or 5 years ago, they were in high school. It's pretty crazy. I think Elam for Buffalo is going to be a good pickup next year for teams that play a lot of man. Detroit plays man. He might wind up there. But I don't know. Detroit has like that Amek Robertson who's been very good. Detroit might have their secondary filled out. They have the best. They have one of the best safety duos in the NFL. with Joseph and Branch. It's crazy how many dudes from Alabama the Lions are drafting. Like, yeah, what if we just... Oh, YouTube being weird. What up, Kenny? What up, Trey? I seen you left a comment. Weird they won't let you say anything. You're being censored. You're not actually being censored. Yeah, he didn't look so great against one of the better secondaries in the NFL and no wide receivers. I'm doing good, Kenny. How you doing? Plus, he probably needs to stop going on like podcasts as much and maybe focus a little bit more on football. Might be helpful. You know, like the whole offseason he spent going around doing talk shows instead of doing football stuff. And again, I've been pointing this out since we played them. I've been trying to sound the alarm bells about the Texans for weeks now, and people are finally starting to listen. Ding 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 ding. Hey, they're not generating long drives of offense for some reason against the bad Patriots defense. They're only scoring on short fields against us. And everybody said nobody cared. Oh, they'll get it right. No, they won't. Then they got hurt. It's like, nah, they're not going to get it right. Yeah, and plus, like, sophomore slump. Again, he spent the whole offseason living it up as the rookie of the year instead of focusing on football like an idiot. Yeah, because, I mean, they'll get Collins back at, in like 4 weeks? Yeah, and I don't know why people aren't, like, paying attention that most of their scoring drives started at, like, our 30-yard line or inside our own fucking 15. I think 2 of them, maybe 3 of them started in the red zone. And people were like, yeah, but you got blown out. It's like, yeah, because we turned it over, like, in our fucking red zone. Like, giving them the ball inside of our own 20. Like 3 times. At least twice. Maybe 3. And all 3 were touchdowns. Take away all 3 of those, we won the game. Whoa. We literally, it's not that the Texans blew us out and beat us. We literally gave them the football game. We gave them a blowout win. I'm telling you, go look up. I'm not, I exaggerate silly things. I don't really, again, I don't lie about stuff like this. When I'm trying to like make a prediction or like be serious about like analysis, I'm genuinely looking at something going, oh, that's troubling. Why are they struggling to score against us like this? I also feel like Stroud is playing fine. I think arguably he's playing slightly better this year because he's trying to escape more and generate even more plays. Maybe his offensive line is notably worse than it was last year too. I don't know what's happened there. It might be injuries as well, but his line is dog shit. It might be worse than my team's line. My team actually could hold back the Jets' pass rush. Like Jacoby Brissett had time that CJ Stroud would have killed for last night. You know what that tells me? Also, again, I have a dog shit football team. I can do a lot of comparison to my team. I have a reference point now. Yeah, and I like something that like Viridian Lowe was holding Quinnen Williams back like a fucking like a beast. Like he did so good against Quinnen Williams. The team is considering a tackle spot for Viridian Lowe long term. Like he might actually be like a right tackle for us going forward for a while, or he's going to be our left tackle. He's pretty solid. Like if he has another good game or two, he's probably our tackle. We might actually have 2 good linemen now. I think the Packers has a chance to win. I hope not, Kenny. Sadly, I think your team is going to have to. I think we're going to have to take a chunk out of Jordan Love. That's not me advocating for an injury, by the way. I know that's fucked up. It's just I just read that he's playing. I shouldn't say shit. Like it's always funny to try to say Lions things. Like the Lions sayings, it's like to it like about a player coming out like that got hurt. It's like, yeah, I think we're gonna fuck that kid up. It's like, hey, you know, he's hurt, right? It's like, oh yeah. I don't mean the injury stuff. I just mean we're gonna try and fuck him up, you know. If he works out at right tackle, then the right guard can go back to his spot. Yeah, I think they've been playing, Mike. I think they gave up on playing Onwenu at tackle. I'm pretty sure Onwenu's just been at guard. I think they just went, meh, fuck it. You know what? He's a guard. Put him at guard. I think that's what their resolve is at this point. I know they're getting Cole Strange. They're converting him to a center because I'm pretty sure Andrews is retiring. Yeah, it's trending towards Love playing Kenny. So, by the way, if you guys haven't dropped likes yet, consider doing so. That way your team will lose to the Lions this year, but you won't get the Honolulu flu. Hey, we have 12 likes. That's pretty good. You guys could get us to like 15 possibly, maybe even 400. Yeah, but I think Onwenu wants to play, like, his best position's guard, so he doesn't really like playing tackle. And again, I'd prefer him to play guard if we can. Like, I'd just rather just get new tackles. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Some great big tackles. And just have Big Mike play fucking guard. Let's just have a big line. We have Drake May now. We're good. We don't need that much. Dude, if we have 3 or 4 linemen, we're pretty set. 4 of them were good. You don't need 5 good ones. Mike, did you see the fucking catch they gave Garrett Wilson last night? And people were like, you can toe tap with the same toe, technically. And it's like, fuck that. We caught the ball way cleaner than that against Miami, and they took that shit away from us. Oh, man, hold on. Let me show you this. I can't show it because I'll get copyrighted. But just go look up the Garrett Wilson catch and tell me if you think that was less of a touchdown than what we had against Miami to win that game. But Ben, I have to show you this. Where is it? It's like he literally got both feet down. Oh, Polk. Hold on, it was Polk. Let me show you something. He taps there. This other foot taps. Look at this. They called that not a touchdown, dude. I'm not kidding when I say this was the craziest takeaway ever. There is no evidence this was. They said toe taps don't count in the end zone. That was the actual reason, Ben. Look at this. 1 caught, possession established. It's shocking, man. No, there's his first foot down, second foot down. They literally said that it doesn't count for some reason. Like, it's like, don't toe taps count? They said no, toe taps don't count. Look at this. That's a touchdown. There is no white underneath it. They said because his foot went down and touched out of bounds. That's why they didn't count it. They said his toe taps didn't count as possession establishing. Can you believe that? Imagine if your team lost a game like that. Like, what the fuck? How did we lose that game? We won. We won the game. That's why I say my team should at least be 3-5. The knee touches, yeah, that's why I think he's good. But no, yeah, they ruled it a touchdown catch though. But like that said, George Pickens and mine, and ours was ruled, but those were ruled no catches. It's like, well, what the fuck is what? Oh, that catch by Polk was literally one of the greater catches I've seen a young player make, and it's like, really? We're just gonna fucking take that away for no reason? They say the shin doesn't. The shin touches in bounds before, which technically does count. Right? Shin touching in bounds. Yeah. See you later, Jay. I think everyone's taken off at this point. It kind of emptied out in here, down to 2 people. I think it's just Mike and Ven left. Everyone died. Or is it that time of the stream where YouTube takes away all the viewers? Most likely the latter. For some reason, YouTube's like, he's been live for too long. Strip the viewers away. Yeah, it pretty much is. Troy Vincent is in charge of catches now. He's like in charge of like, is it a catch or not? And we'll probably lose every single possible controversial catch call this year, Mike. Chin down technically does count as 2 feet, theoretically. Plus like a foot in a shoe. I don't think that Wilson wasn't a catch, by the way. But how the fuck is that a catch and my team's ball not a catch? That's my problem with that. It's like, come on, fucking Polk caught that shit way cleaner. Yeah, so YouTube's doing that weird shit where I'm probably gaining viewers because my overall viewership is going up, but it's just like, and we'll take another viewer away. Yeah, they're being told how to call that by Troy Vincent. I've already convinced Mike. We're being sabotaged by Troy. Just like how they cheated to give the Eagles a Super Bowl win. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you may think I sound like a crazy conspiracy theory, but I don't do conspiracy theories. I don't think that the Eagles won that Super Bowl by luck. I think that they had a different rule book than what we had. And by the way, there were several controversial catches that shouldn't have happened and should have been called. That won the game for the Eagles. If you remember, there was a lot of really weird situations in that game. And if you go look, just Google the words. What combination of words will get you there? I don't know. Troy Vincent, Eagles, Patriots, Super Bowl conspiracy. This is on CBS Sports News. This is on CBS News. I don't know if this is official news. Did Troy Vincent just say that Corey Clement's Super Bowl touchdown shouldn't have counted? He was on the Dan Patrick show. Oh, weird. The slight movement of the ball, the old language read, if there's slight movement, then that means you've got to overturn it. Now you can have movement, but you still can maintain control. We removed and got out of the business of slight movement because you can have movement, but still be well in control. Vincent said, the Clement play in the Super Bowl is the best example. The ball moved, but he had complete control over it through the process of the catch. So under the new rule proposal, Clement would not be penalized for a slight bobbling of the ball. That's all well and good. But wouldn't that by necessity mean under the old rule, the ruling should have been an incompletion? Do you kind of get what the point here is? The Eagles and the way that was called was for the rule change the following season. That should, like, the Eagles had a different, they were giving the Eagles the benefit of the new rule that wasn't in place, that didn't exist. And Troy was like, no, we're going to go with the new rule. Do you see where it's like, and this is Troy Vincent, by the way. He's still in charge of officiating of catches today. So there's probably a new catch rule coming, by the way. This is kind of a heads up because we've been fucked by like 3 times this year. Gene Saratar, it sticks here and then it goes there, but he never loses control. Is that ball in a movement? Yes, but it does not deem loss of control. Yeah, again, you can kind of look into this. It's a very interesting thing. You may be wondering, why does Troy Vincent want to fuck the Patriots over? What's the connection here? Maybe, Kenny. I'm not sure. Like, what's the correlation between these events? Why would Troy Vincent care to fuck the Patriots? Why was he the leader of Deflategate? Why was he the reason he was willing to go to the Supreme Court to fight Brady on this situation? Why does he hate the Patriots so much? Well, Troy Vincent used to play in the NFL. Oh, okay. So there's something here, huh? Guess what team he played for? You have one guess. It's an easy guess if you're paying attention. It's a very easy guess to figure out who this mystery team that Troy Vincent played for was. Well. He was a member of the Eagles. Oh, interesting. So he's kind of helping his old team out in the Super Bowl. That makes sense. Okay, a little suspicious, right? Do you know that Troy Vincent was on the 2005 Eagles? The team that played the New England Patriots in a very, very close Super Bowl. One of the closer Super Bowls One of the better Super Bowls in the last 20 years or so. Interesting, you may say. You know, Troy Vincent believes that the only reason the Eagles lost that Super Bowl is because of Spygate. Even though Spygate had nothing to do with that Super Bowl. And he said that the Patriots got away scot-free with Spygate and they shouldn't have any of their Super Bowl wins and they should all be stripped away. Troy Vincent genuinely believes that they got fucked out of the Super Bowl because of all of that. That like we should have been like barred from the league. That was his full belief. And then it's like, oh wait, and then it's come out that like, oh yeah, Spygate was actually just like a 2007 infraction in this preseason that we completely pretended was something else. And then it's come out more recently that every single team filmed from where the Patriots did in the Super Bowl walkthroughs. So like the Eagles have the same tape that we have of them. The Rams have the same tape that we have of them. The Panthers have the same tape that we have as them. Yeah. Whoops, because it wasn't banned to film from that spot until 2007. If you go look at what Spygate is, it's a preseason game infraction against the Jets. So, literally, we're getting fucked with for no reason by Troy Vincent because he believes we shouldn't be allowed to be in the NFL anymore. We should have all our things stripped from us. He fully believes this, by the way. He hates the Patriots more than any singular person on the planet could, and he's like allowed to fuck us over directly. You could kind of look at the Patriots' entire second run dynasty as kind of like a fuck you to the league. Like the league was actively trying to stop the Patriots' second dynasty. Like Deflategate, fucking changing the rules in the Super Bowl to favor the Eagles and not really telling the Patriots about it or not giving the Patriots any kind of benefit of the doubt on those rules. Kind of just letting the Eagles be like, hey, we're changing the rule next year. Fucking just change it. Who gives a fuck? Fuck the Patriots. And again, not a lot of people care about this, but we've been getting fucked over by the officials for like 10, 11, 12 years now. Nobody really listens to us about this. But like, do you know Tom Brady was one of the least called roughing the passing quarterbacks in the NFL? I think he got it called like it averaged out to like once, maybe twice a season. This is like something you could look up. He's like one of the least called quarterbacks probably ever for fucking roughing the passer for the amount people pretend like he gets that called for him. It's like, no, go watch him get sacked. They bashed his head. Sorry, that's a literal penalty and always has been. Like people like bitch about it. It's the same thing they do with Kansas City. It's a little obnoxious. It'll be like Mahomes will get choke slammed and the people will go, what the fuck? That's not roughing. You can choke slam a quarterback. You can break their neck. You can stab them in the chest 6,000 times. The fuck? They're like with their receivers running down the field and like they'll get fucking clobbered and like the ball will be like about to hit him in the hands and people be like, oh really, a PI? Really? What the fuck the PI is for? And it's like, well, I mean, your defensive back just clobbered him and before the ball was anywhere like, but they always throw that for the Chiefs, dude. They always do it. It's like, yeah, that's like if that happened to your team, you'd want to. Yeah, but dude, it's bullshit. Why every time? It's like, well, that's not every time. Actually, it's like Mahomes is like 11 for 31 right now. What are you talking about? Every time, most of his throws have been bad. I don't know why your guy just did that. He didn't even need to do that. He could have picked that ball off. Instead, he just killed the receiver for some reason. Yeah, it's really just, it's always just retarded. It's like every single time I see a penalty that people complain about against the team, it's like, well, that's actually a penalty. And while you're complaining about the wrong fucking thing with officiating, allowing officiating to get bad by focusing on like the Patriots and the Chiefs over the last 24 years for some reason, two teams that actually have penalties committed against them at a fucking astounding rate because teams are desperate to beat them, so they're having a lot of penalties committed, not getting as many calls as they actually should against them, by the way. Chiefs should have more calls go in their favor, and so should the Patriots have. But they don't do that for some reason. They kind of fuck these two teams over because they like, I don't know what the NFL's rationale here is. But like they also kind of like don't overcall it, but they don't undercall it. It's like this weird way of the NFL looking at like the teams that people are most complaining about. Because if you're the NFL and you have that Chiefs game that everybody complains about where the Falcons player literally fucking tackles him, drags him down by the back before as the ball's about to come. And like, if you're the NFL and you hear that that's the play that has gotten the most fucking loud noise, right? From the entire season, that's probably the loudest people have bitched in the way that I kind of follow things. That was one of the worst calls this year for people for some reason. And if you're the NFL and you look at that and you go, that was the right call. What are they talking about? Ref problem, right? Meanwhile, you have this fucking thing going on where George Pickens is getting fucked out of touchdowns. Random, they have no idea how to call people doing toe taps anymore. And that's the actual fucking issue. The fact that some teams are getting hoed on holding. There's no consistency to officiating anymore. But like these actual problems get to fall by the wayside and the NFL gets to ignore them because the issue that gets the most attention is the Chiefs getting the right call made for them because people are pissed. And then the NFL looks at the noise. They go to the noisiest thing because the squeakiest wheel gets the grease. And then they look at the issue and go, what ref problem? These are the right calls. Fuck off. And then they do nothing about the refs, allowing the refs that are making shitty calls and doing all this shitty stuff to just be emboldened because they're like, oh, okay, we're doing the right thing. Fuck you guys, we are calling this right. We're going to call more holds now. We're going to call it this way because we are doing it right. The league's not adjusting us because every time we do it, you guys are doing it wrong. It's like creating this retarded feedback loop that is so fucking broken. I don't even know where they begin to fix it. Yeah, it's retarded. It's stupid because the only things they like critically examine are like the Chiefs. And every time it's the right call. Every fucking time I've seen it, it's the right call with the Chiefs. If you're Goodell, and again, what are you doing? You're going to go to the loudest thing, which is usually the Chiefs situation. And if you see that the calls are right, do you think you have an officiating problem? No, you don't. You move on. You don't even give a fuck about this. You're like, all right, whatever. We know how we're doing. And again, those refs that are making those dipshit ass calls like they did with Pickens and against the Patriots, they just get to keep going because the league's not going to look at them ever because when they do look at officials, the loudest situations, the biggest problems, it's the right call usually. It's the same problem Detroit had for 12 years. People ignoring the Lions and just kind of laughing it off about Detroit getting hoed for 12 straight years by the officials until like last year. Kind of still get fucked over. But it's not as bad now. People just kind of laughing and going, well, it's the Lions. Who gives a shit? Is the reason the officials are so bad, by the way. Now, one thing with the Patriots over the last 12 years has had any singular greater impact on football than the Lions being hoed the way that they got hot. Like, the Lions getting fucked the way that they did set the tone for how it is today because nobody cared because people were too busy bitching about Tom Brady getting two fucking roughing the passing calls a season. That's literally what people were more distracted by than Detroit losing game after game after game after game after game. There's like 14 games in like a 10-year span Detroit just lost because of bad officiating. Like, and I'll never say that a team loses because of calls, except the Detroit Lions. I say that for a reason. I say no team can ever say they've lost a game because of bad calls, except the Detroit Lions. That's it. There's one team. I've just watched it happen. They sacked Aaron Rodgers and won a game, and then Aaron Rodgers went like that, and they called a face mask and they won the game. It's like the officials just won the Packers the game. They got moved up to the 50 and had a short shot at against the best Hail Maryer of all time. Yeah, that's nothing. He's gonna get that. What a horseshit fucking. People ignoring shit like that and just not caring because it was Detroit, LOL. That's why we have bad officials, not because Tom Brady got the tuck rule. I'm telling you, that's the objectively right rule, by the way. The tuck rule is one of the biggest deals ever. And the funniest thing about the tuck rule is that was the correct call. For the rule book at the time, yeah, they changed it in the offseason, right? Who gives a fuck? It's like, yeah, we changed the rules. Okay, cool. That should have been that. Well, it's kind of a shitty rule. Yeah. Oh, well, sorry. We changed it. Okay. No, well, but that's a bigger deal than the way the Lions have gotten treated. Again, because that is a bigger situation than the way the Lions got treated over a decades long, 14, 15 years straight of football. That's why the officials are so bad, because people hyper fixated on the dog shit the Patriots were up to and all the pretend good calls the Patriots get. And they didn't focus on the actual bad officiating. We gotta call out bad officiating, not teams getting calls that go in their favor. That's not a bad thing. No, it's what teams are getting fucked by the officials right now, the Lions used to. That's what we gotta be hey, this is a problem. Like, we got to like scream loud about this, not about the Chiefs getting the right call on pass interference for the 50th time this season, because, oh, wow, it actually is PI. Sorry about that rant, but it's really just getting retarded with like fans have to like realize this about why officials got so bad, because we cried about the Patriots and the fucking Chiefs getting calls. That's why the officials have gotten so bad, and we ignored the actual bad officiating. God, sucks. Yeah, and like a lot of the NFL, the only NFL rule that exists because of Tom Brady is the one where you can't hit quarterbacks beneath the knee. And you want to know why that rule exists? Because it's not even the Tom Brady rule. And you know, most defensive players and NFL players hate this motherfucker because of this. Pollard, Bernard Pollard, the guy who fucking went headfirst into Tom's knee for some reason. Yeah, people hate that fucking guy because he did that, by the way. Nobody likes this dude. He's very well hated by the NFL because the reason you can't like touch quarterbacks is because of that fucking guy. Because he decided, I think he like publicly said he's like, Brady ain't doing that shit again this year. And then I think he got in trouble for that. Yeah, he literally said the words, Brady ain't doing that to this league again this year. And then they went, fuck that, we're not doing that. And then they banned fucking hitting quarterbacks in the knee. Because guess what the meta was about to become in the NFL? Yeah, and dude, he literally was just like a demon, said he's not going undefeated again this year. Because guess what the Patriots were probably going to do that year? They were probably going to go undefeated again that year. That was their goal. Their outright stated goal before Brady got hurt was like, yeah, we're gonna go undefeated this year and actually win the motherfucking Super Bowl. And everybody went, yeah, they're probably gonna actually pull this shit off again. Their schedule isn't that hard. Sorry about that rant there. I get fired up. I think Ben dipped. I hope not though, because that was the first heat I spit in a while. I think I'm making a good point about the official situation. I think it's a poignant point that, again, my main point is bad officials need to actually be the focus of the complaints, not guys making the right call, which is a little bit. See you later, Kenny. I hope my point was clear. I hope it made sense. I think it did. Again, it's very annoying to hear. It's always very annoying though, personally though, that people like, and I get it, right? It's annoying to see a good team get the call made. Like it's genuinely frustrating to see Kansas City get another PI flag. Yeah, I get it. It is. It's fucking gay. But that's not what we should be mad about, right? It's like, fuck. Like that's about as mad as people should get with the officials. It's like, God damn it. And then you see the replay, and as soon as you see it's a penalty, you go, oh, motherfucker, why they gotta quit fouling them? They're not that good. Then it's you know what it is also? It's that theory you have that teams become retarded when they play Kansas City. It's like, Atlanta, what was that? You haven't done that again all year. What the fuck was that defense? Why did you jump on his back? Have you ever done that? Like, you're an NFL football player. Have you ever jumped on the back of a defender or of offensive player before the ball got there? In your entire football career, has that ever been a move you've made? Nope. Why'd you do it that game? I don't even know. Dude, like a retarded demon takes over for some teams. Like they just lose. Like the only teams that seem impervious to the Colts curse was the Lions, because they actually played Kansas City good every time they played them. Even when they were like bad with Patricia, it was like these weird close games. So it seems like the Lions, the Colts, Tom Brady was, and that's about it. Everybody else goes retarded as soon as they run into Kansas City, dude. It's very, very funny. And Derek Carr also goes Super Saiyan 2 when he plays Kansas City. And every like fourth game, the Raiders play really good versus them. Same with the Broncos, kind of like every like 5 or 6 games. It probably should just be one like college, but it'll never go back to, it'll never be one mic. They'll always have 2. They'll never change that rule, but they'll I think they're either gonna tighten up on the movement or make it so you can move the ball a little bit more now. I think they're gonna loosen up on the wiggle of the ball. Because that's stupid. Like a lot of that stuff's really like over the top. It's like, dog, who cares if does the ball hit the ground? No, it's a catch. Jesus Christ. Why can't we just have that? Like that's the easiest catch rule. Like there's a very simple thing. Like, does the ball hit the ground? No, it's a catch. Yeah, but he kind of bobbled it like on the way to the ground. Who cares? Did he drop it? Nope. Did the ball hit the ground? Skid off the ground? No. It's a catch. Yeah, but as he rolled around, the ball bobbled again. Didn't never hit the ground, but he didn't have full control of it. Like I genuinely don't care. That looks like a touch. That looks like a catch. Did ball hit ground? No, catch. Did they get both? Did they touch did they have two things touch in bounds before, or like their fucking butt? Catch. It's like, yeah, God. It's just hilarious that the catch rule got really screwed up to just stop the Lions from having one of the greater comebacks I've ever seen against the Bears. It's just hilarious that all of this started was to like deny Calvin Johnson a touchdown. Yeah, it's like it's gotta be. There's gotta just be like, yeah, a catch is when the player catches the ball and it doesn't hit the ground. Like this wasn't a problem until the Calvin Johnson situation. I'm telling you, the Lions doing that shit to the Bears the way that they did that in that game broke the NFL, has broken the NFL for like 15, 16 years now. They still don't really know. They should just go back to the rule. Like, be like, all right, we're going back to that pre-Calvin Johnson rule. We fucked up. That should have been a touchdown. That was our bad. Add one to Calvin's touchdowns. All right, there we go. Boom. We've corrected our mistake. They could just do that. They could just go back to the rule the way it was before the Calvin Johnson catch. And all of it's back to normal. We just kind of, a catch is a catch is a catch. We don't need all this crazy language. Did the ball hit the ground? No. But then again, I guess it kind of opens back up that interpretation of like, if they don't come back up with the ball. Oh, okay, just keep that in there, actually. And you got to pop back up with the ball if you come back up after a set. Like, if you immediately pop back up, you should probably come back up with the ball. Or else it kind of seems like you dropped it. Other than that, boom, there you go. Fuck, dude. I blame you, man. I think it's your fault somehow that it's your fault that the NFL changed the catch rule and can't get it right. I don't really know how. I'll let you know. I'm not that creative right now. I'm kind of at like I'm like a 50-50 right now. I don't have very, somehow, I don't know. I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really feeling it though. I don't know. I haven't really blamed anybody for anything in a while. I'm fucking rusty. What Cam say for, is he offering to train the guy? Like offering him some like mentorship? Because unironically, that would be a really good kind of like mentor. Like he would be the perfect mentor for Richardson. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's the idea then. He could get him throwing just like Cam used to. That's perfect. Hell yeah, dude. I wish I could play this because First Take is a little too they're copywriters. Damn, I'm gonna have to check that out after the stream then. This stream turned out to be pretty good. About 80 views. Not bad. It's pretty good for a fucking non-reaction stream anymore. 13 likes, that's pretty good actually. You guys haven't dropped one yet, consider it, so we might even hit 15. Man, that's got to be one of the craziest regrets of a lifetime. Just not diving recklessly for the ball. Like, it's like, damn, you played so reckless your whole career. Why the fuck? How the fuck? Then again, it's that retard demon that plagues teams when they play Kansas City. It came and got Cam in a split second. He forgot that he was the guy who dives for that football 99% of the time. He just went suddenly. He's like, oh, I got to be like Brady. It's like, what? What? Again, it's just like this. It's like something happens to some people where they just go dummy mode. The Bills when they play the Chiefs, the Ravens when they play the Chiefs, and only in the playoffs because both those teams can beat them in the regular season. It was against Peyton Manning too. To be fair, I think it was the effect Peyton Manning had on people. Peyton Manning turned people into retards too for some reason. Teams would overplay to try to beat him, and it's like, what are you doing? Fucking Peyton Manning. What are you doing? He's not even fast. Fucking, it was just hilarious watching teams just not blitz against him. It would just be like he'd be up against like Rex Ryan or somebody like that, or like Ryan's brother, or but like Buddy Ryan, I think, or he'd be up against like Wink Martindale, or just some of these all-time great defensive coordinators. Who's one of the I'm trying to think about who was one who was like kind of like the Flores of his time, really blitz heavy guy. Wade Phillips, that's who, kind of like a Wade Phillips types. They'd be up against somebody like that, and the guy would just not blitz. It's just like, what? The Bengals, the Colts, not in the playoffs, right? Like, if we're talking playoffs, it's really like Tom Brady, the Patriots. But like teams that play against the Chiefs very good, like consistently, are like the Colts. They seem to be immune to the retard demon. The Lions have played the Colts surprisingly well under the Chiefs era, or the Mahomes era. They almost beat him with fucking Matt Patricia, and then they beat him in last year. Surprising amount of wins versus that team. Or yeah, but that's why I said Brady Pats. I kind of, But yeah, so I'm kind of thinking like there's a couple teams that seem to be like immune to the retard demon that takes over. Again, the Falcons, the Falcons jumped on a guy's back. That corner has never done that shit, dude. Has that guy ever made a play like that in his life? No, 100% not. He's never done that. But for some reason against the Chiefs, that was the time to debut that fucking move. And then they lost the game because of it. It's like, oh, good job, dude. You just fucking lost the game because you did something you've never done in your life because you're playing Pat Mahomes. It's like, what are you doing? You don't even play like that. And he's probably like, damn, dude, I've never done that shit my whole life. I never jumped on a guy's back before. Ben, that was a good theory you came up with. That's probably one of the more poignant theories I've seen someone come up with about the Chiefs and why they have so much success. Teams just go straight dumb brain against them. Derek Carr's back, so again, just to remind people, I'm changing my pick. And we're still 2 likes away. If you guys haven't dropped a like yet, consider doing so. Maybe we'll get to 15. Let's see. How long are we going to be live for? I'll probably do another 10 minutes here, and then we'll probably call it at 11. Yeah, it's Carr versus Dalton. I'm going Carr. Well, the Bengals or the Saints haven't played like bad football. They just haven't had an offense. Just like no, Ben, it's a pretty solid theory, I think, at this point. We're gonna build this into a real thing. I think this is a good take you came up with. And it's probably a major contributor. You think you'll take Dalton? My thing here, Mike, is the Saints have been almost winning these games, but like the reason they're losing is bad quarterback play. So it's like, all right, they got Carr back. They should be back to winning now. So I'm thinking they'll be back to winning. And you got to remember, this team was kicking the dog shit out of people like 4 or 5 weeks ago. So they lost Carr and immediately lost all their firepower. My only assumption is now they have all the firepower back because Carr's there. They got Jesus back on their side and all that. Yeah, Van, I don't know who's going to win, though, between Detroit and the Packers this weekend. You guys look pretty good. Detroit looks really good. Slight edge, obviously, for the Lions. I think they're one of the best teams in football right now. And they're playing like white hot. It's tough to deal with. However, I don't think it's going to be a nasty game. Or I think it's going to be a nasty game where it's going to be like a 35-32 type final. 35-34 wouldn't be surprising. Close game late. I trust the Lions a little bit more than the Packers. Goff seems to be a monster under pressure this year, so I don't know. Goff's playing at like a crazy MVP level, so I trust him. They also tend to rebound after people said they play bad, and people were like, they had a bad offensive game. You're thinking of kind of a blowout. I don't know. The Packers tend to stay in games. I don't know about a 14-point game. Packers, they stay in every game they lose, so. Chiefs are getting worse yet. Like Chiefs have keep having their worst version of themselves, including Mahomes, and it's like, yeah, exactly, dude, exactly. Then, yeah, they shouldn't be 8. Like this team is going to lose in the playoffs. The first team that realizes they can score off of a Chiefs turnover is going to beat them. Mike, if it makes any difference, Love is probably playing, barring some crazy setback on his groin. I think his dick's okay, so he's going to play. Ben's like, I remember this. Yeah. He's lucky Hutch isn't playing. They probably wouldn't actually play him if Hutch was playing, if I'm being honest. You know, Ben, I think this is one of the rare situations where Hutch not playing is the probable sole reason they feel comfortable Love being is out there. They're like, they really can't do shit all without Hutch, so we're probably a little safe to play him. The only thing that if he gets re-injured and you guys have a bye week next week and he has to miss more than just the bye week, that's your coach is gonna get a lot of shit. Especially since Willis is 3-0 this season and has been playing pretty good. And Detroit has a major problem with mobile quarterbacks. It would almost be starter to play Willis in this game. And I'm not just saying that because I think Detroit would probably win that game. But like Detroit genuinely struggles with running quarterbacks. It's like one of their weak spots. And with all the injuries to their defensive line, you'd think you'd want like a more mobile quarterback this week. And Love isn't going to be super mobile with the fucking sore ass tender groin. He strained that shit, dude, and it's like I've had that exact injury. It's like he'll be fine. It's just he's gonna be tender as fuck. Not gonna want to run a lot unless they shoot him up with painkillers. I guess it don't matter. Take a couple cortisone shots. I suppose. I don't know. It sucks this year because I just don't have as much time as I've had in the past to devote to football. But it's nice on nights like this where I can just kind of dive into it and have a good time. You were in the kitchen, fair enough. Mike in the kitchen. Mike in the... Nobody fuck with my kitchen. I don't know. I guess he's actually turned out to be a decent coach, Eberflus. It's like a decent staff. Like, I don't know. I think Eberflus probably has to go, but like, I don't know. It's weird because it appears they're actually doing the right by by Caleb Williams. They're like actually developing a quarterback. So I'm hesitant to say they should fire people. Oh, they're having issues with the players. Oh, they didn't fire him, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. They're just finally getting it right with the quarterback. It's like a dumb idea to get rid of. I don't know. I feel like if you're having coach issues, you should just fire him. But I don't know. The Bears ownership has way too much control of that team. They micromanage the shit out of it. And they're just not very good at like
running a football team. Like that's pretty much, man. They're somehow going to screw Caleb Williams up. It's going to be amazing to watch. The Bears have never actually had a good quarterback prospect other than like Jay Cutler. Like honestly, Jay Cutler was the greatest quarterback to ever play in Chicago until Caleb showed up. It's just like that's it. It was Jay Cutler, Jim McMahon, I suppose, because he won a Super Bowl. Like fucking Rex Grossman. Yeah, it's bad, dude. It's just fucking I don't know how the fuck that's, dude. I don't know how they're like the oldest franchise next to you guys. Like you guys are two of the oldest teams in the NFL's history, right? Because you guys had your 100 years like fucking 10 years ago. It seemed like both of you. So like you guys are some of the oldest teams in the league. It's like how have the Bears not had 4,000 yards once? The greatest just misdraft of all time. I still don't understand that. Why did they just take Deshaun Watson? They could have had Deshaun Watson. That'll still always be the funniest part of that specific draft is like they could have just took Deshaun. Like, yeah, hindsight's 2020, but it's like they could have had Watson before he became a creep. And who knows, maybe he goes to Chicago. He doesn't get introduced to Houston strippers and start, living that life. There's probably all them fucking bitches down here. Yeah, it's still never going to be funnier than Ben McDougal pretty much telling the Giants to draft these very specific players, or Ben McAdoo telling the Giants to draft Mahomes or Josh Allen. Dude, in consecutive years, he was told no about drafting fucking Mahomes. He wanted to trade up to like 5 to get Mahomes, and there's proof of this. Like the Giants ownership confirmed that. Like everybody confirms this story that apparently in like 3 straight years, this dude kept trying to draft very specific quarterbacks. It's like he wanted Mahomes really, really bad. And the Giants told him, fuck that, no. Then he said, draft Josh Allen. They told him he's fucking crazy. No. Then he said, draft Lamar Jackson. And they yet again told him no. Can you imagine being Ben McAdoo just sitting there after you got fired going, oh, if you motherfuckers would have drafted one of them quarterbacks, we'd be good now. Look, I told you. They're like, Ben, you drafted Daniel. Listen, man, you just haven't been able to create a winning team. We got to fire you. It's like, yeah, but like I wanted to draft the good players. You guys wouldn't let me draft them. All right, Ben, you're fired. He did say draft Drake May. He said that was the best quarterback in the draft. Well, it's fucking for the Patriots. Obviously, I think he thought, everybody knows Caleb is the guy. I don't know. Jaden looks really good, though. That was who Bill wanted to draft, was Jaden Williams. Or Jaden Daniels. That always perplexes me. It's like, damn, dude. Bill would have drafted Jaden Daniels. He really did regret not drafting Lamar Jackson. That's hilarious. He's like, oh, there he is. There's my second chance. Oh, I got fired. Son of a bitch. Fucking fired me. Oh, I'm going to go hang out with my girlfriend now anyway. I don't really give a fuck. I'm in the Hall of Fame. I don't fucking, who cares? I'm done. Got me a 24-year-old bang maid. Can you imagine like trying to compete for that girl? And she's like, oh, I got a boyfriend. You're like, I bet you he ain't shit. Well, he's 8-time Super Bowl champion coach Bill Belichick. Like, fuck. You just gotta walk away like, God damn it. Well, is Bill cool? Can I meet him? All right, I'm out of stuff to talk about, and I'm just about done now. Just a friendly reminder, if you go to big stores, you can get candy half off. Probably tomorrow, it's probably at 50%. A lot of it's probably been bought up by now, but I bought some candy today. It's been a pretty cool thing. Day after Halloween, always a good time to go get cheap ass candy, big ass bags of candy for cheap. A lot of variety bags. You get like a $10 bag for like $7, $6. I think my $10 bag was like fucking $5, $6 earlier. That's a pretty good deal. It's like M&M's, Skittles, Starburst, Snickers bar, little Snickers. Pretty good, pretty good. So, all right. Anybody got anything left? Anything left to talk about? I appreciate everyone hanging out. Thank you guys very much. It made for a lot better stream tonight. And I thought it was shaping up to be pretty bad earlier. And all of a sudden people just popped in. So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for a fun little stream tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I don't think I'll be live tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure I'm going to a Halloween party. It was supposed to be tonight, but somebody passed away in the English department. May she rest in peace. A pretty brutal way to go from what I've gathered. I think it was a pulmonary embolism. Is that where a blood clot gets into your lung and kills you? Cuts off like the oxygen or something. They died of that at a concert in the bathroom. Apparently, it was fucking depressing. So, yeah. I don't even know how you defend like against blood clots. Do you just get unlucky and get one? It's just kind of like, and now my body killed me. Why? Mike, he's fucking going crazy, dude. It's like if you go chart his reactions to things, like he's genuinely like losing it. It's like, oh no, dude. Oh fuck, dude, 2 is gone. He's not even 2 anymore. That's just TT. That's TT number 1, dude. He's gonna be going by some crazy names here pretty soon. He's gonna be TT, like just like, you know, AB84. Yeah, poor Tua, dude. All right, though, everybody. There's nothing else here. I'm probably gonna get out of here. Again, I appreciate y'all for hanging out. It was a fun stream. But that was like, it's 2 hours now, so we did pretty good. It's a pretty good little stream. We got what? Probably just shy of 15 views or 15 likes. 13. Yeah. If you haven't dropped one yet, consider doing so on the way out. You could be one of the last 2 we need for 15. Again, don't think I'll be live tomorrow, unless like the party stuff falls through. Yeah, like with Greasy Potato Chips about him like playing or something. I don't even know what he was pissed. He was pissed about something. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Have a happy night, whatever you're doing. Be safe and all that. And yeah, take it easy. Have a good night. Go Lions, go Tigers. Of course, it's always go Patriots. That's it.